Hello, fellow quarantined people. Greetings from the bunker. Got my quarantine beard going here. Wanted to share something with you, special video today. A lot of folks are out of work or getting laid off or unemployed now. 17 million filed for unemployment so far. Um, what I'm doing is I'm driving for DoorDash. I used to do Uber driving on the side to supplement my income. Now, I've not wanting to have strangers in my car. I'm now doing food delivery, and that's considered an essential service during these times. So, what I was going to do is make a video for you guys showing the process that I use because during a pandemic, and this is probably going to go away once the pandemic is finally under control. But you can make some pretty good money doing food delivery or Instacart or what have you. But this is, for me particularly, my DoorDash process. And I'm actually making more money doing this than I was doing Uber. But again, there wasn't a pandemic, when I was doing the Uber stuff. And now there is, and people need deliveries. So another thing you might ask is why would you give away your secrets if you're making such good money? And the reason is it's like, well, it's part of what I can do to give back too. So if people are out there hurting for cash, this is something you can do if you're able. Now, I would, definitely, practice all the safe stuff, wear gloves, wear a mask, sanitize everything, bring sanitizing wipes, wipe your bag out, use a heat bag, by the way, don't just throw it in your damn car. I've seen that. Um, but so be safe out there, and it's not for everybody. But if you're healthy and you think you can do it, you might want to give it a shot. So here's the process that I use. So the way DoorDash works, it's an app, right? You get an order that comes in, and it's usually based on if you're the closest person to the store or the restaurant or what have you. This is the process that I use. So an order comes in, I say, is it less than $10? If the answer is yes, then I have a is that restaurant on my blacklist. There's certain restaurants and stores that I just won't go to because they're slow, because they're rude, because whatever. I don't do any fast food restaurants, for example. Nothing I have to go through the drive-through and wait with a bunch of other people. So no, that's out. Restaurants that make me wait forever. Some of them are 30-minute waits. That's just a waste of your time. Don't do those. Some restaurants, even during a pandemic, some restaurants are still handing the drivers empty cups to go fill up at the public fountain over there. I'm just like, nope, you guys fill those up for me and send them on the way. So if it's on the blacklist, you just say decline and reason I don't want to go to that store. If it's not on the blacklist, then I ask, do I have a high chance of a stack? Meaning, will I get multiple orders? Panda Express is a good one for this. You can usually go to a Panda Express and knock out a couple of them at one shot. If the answer is no, though, then you say order too small and decline. If the answer is yes, then again, is it a long wait or a drive-through? If it's yes, don't want to go to that store. Declined. If it's at least $8, then you say, okay, I might consider it. Otherwise, the order's too small, send it back in. It's kind of like fishing. Fish is too small, send it back. And if it is at least $8 and it's not on my blacklist, then you ask yourself, will I make more than $1.50 a mile? Very important. If the answer is no, then you say distance too far, throw it back. If the answer is yes, go ahead and accept it. Now, up here at the top, if the order is more than $10, then again, check to see if the restaurant's on the blacklist. If it is, I don't want to go to that store. If it's a long wait or a drive-through, I don't want to go to that store. Even if I'm making more than $10 for the offer, I don't want to go through a drive-through. Will you make more than $1.50 per mile? Now, even if it's $14 and 17 miles, turn that sucker down. Distance too far. And if all of these criteria are met, go ahead and accept it. And this right here, I didn't take a screenshot of my acceptance rate, but it's about at 12%. So I'm turning down many more orders than I'm accepting, but I'm making good money, and I'll give you the actual proof. Here's an example of an order that I decline. Number one, I don't want to go to a Walmart, and deliver 100 items over 9 miles for $5.34 and maybe a tip. No, that's negative. Here's another Walmart order. Here is they want to go 2.6 miles for $4 and deliver 205 items. Oh, hell no. Decline. Upper right corner, pound that decline button. I don't want to go to that store. Here's an example of a good order. Total Wine. 5 items going for 4.4 miles. And here's the code here. It says 850. That usually means that the customer put a decent tip on there. $8, maybe not. You're probably getting $3 base from DoorDash plus $5 tip is what that means. If it's a flat $8, if it's $8.50, that's kind of the current thinking is that's their code for there's a larger tip at the end, and there usually is. I'll show you an example. But first, here's this was just the past few weeks. I started doing this at the beginning of March, right when the pandemic hit, and I flipped over from Uber to DoorDash. And as you can see, I'm making pretty decent bank on this. I'll bust open one of my runs here. What I do is I do 2 runs a day. I do from 11 to 2 in the morning, so I'm getting a lunch rush, and then I do from 4 to 7:30 when the sun goes down, and that's the dinner rush. That's all I do, and I use that process that I showed you here, this process right here, and I'm making this kind of money. Let me break it down for you and show you. Here's the total wine tips: $10.08, $12.70 versus Red Robin customer tips $6. So, but Total Wine, these people are much friendlier with the tips. Also, that particular store has a minimum of a $100 order in order to have home delivery. So people are tipping 20% or what have you based on the amount of that order. So you're getting pretty decent stuff here. So that's something to consider. Now, I'll even break down the numbers a little bit further here. Here is, make sure it's right here. I started driving for DoorDash right here, the week ending 3/9. Okay, only did 4.57 hours worth of driving, made $129. Okay, then I started doing it more in earnest here, coming down here. But look at what I'm doing. I'm working, 16, 17 hours here, but I'm making 318, 364, 481, 653 was my biggest week, 616. Giving you an idea of this is total miles, total duration, duration in hours, mileage deduction. So at 58 cents per mile, this is how much I'm deducting per mile. I'm using a program called an app called Sherpa Share, which is tracking my miles. And what's nice about it is you can email yourself reports. It automatically tracks your miles for driving here, and you can email yourself a report during tax season, and that helps out significantly. But to give you an understanding here is this column right here is interesting. This is the average dollars per hour I was making when I was driving for Uber. So it's around $19 to $20 an hour, $16, $17 when it was slow. This is what it is driving for DoorDash during a pandemic. Last week I made $37 an hour for working 16 hours, $37 an hour. Look at the dollars per mile. I was making less than $1 per mile driving for Uber, and now I'm making, last week I made $1.48 per mile driving for DoorDash. So that's as real as it gets in terms of the breakdown there. But I wanted to share this strategy with you, particularly this process with you, because some of you may need to get some extra income or something going, and you're sitting there going, I've got a working car, I'm twiddling my thumbs, and maybe you still have a job where you can work from home, but you got the extra time on your hands. Go out during the dinner rush and drive if that's the only time you can do for it. But follow this process, and you can make pretty good side cash on that. And those numbers I showed you are all real numbers, and that's why I wanted to share this, so it could help somebody out. If you're new to DoorDash or new to Postmates or anything like that you're driving, and you're taking these $3 bullshit orders and driving 12 miles and wondering, why am I not making good hourly wage here? Well, this process will fix that for you. So I hope it helps you out. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just pound them in the comments below. I'll try to answer as many as I can. And be safe out there. If you don't have to be out driving, or you don't feel like, I don't really want to expose myself, don't do it. But if you do, be safe, follow this process, and go make some money. Thanks for watching.